guys, this is Aaron Pirelli from AJP Fishing. Today, you know what? I normally don't do a video like this, but I felt the need to give you guys a scenario breakdown of actually what's happening down there in the Classic. Because where I am in New Jersey, we're going to get these same exact conditions that they're facing down there within about a month, maybe a month and a half from now. And it's going to happen all through New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, all these areas. And what it is the fish are staging out in the spawn flats and spawn coves and whatnot. And the reason why certain things are working and certain things aren't is because I've seen this scenario play out plenty of times, and I've actually had a box just for this scenario. Now, blueback herring play a huge issue on why they're chasing or not chasing certain baits. You're probably wondering why the guys aren't sticking to a jerkbait as much. Today you saw Jordan Lee throw a jerkbait, a little deep diving jerkbait. I'm not sure if it was a Megabass 110+1 or another company. I'm not very sure. However, I'm going to show you a diagram on how you would be setting up on these flats coming in. I'm going to show you the boat positioning and what has worked for me before in the past with this staging period of bass coming up, getting ready to spawn, and why certain baits are not working. A lot of guys you're seeing today were throwing the bladed jig, okay? Chatterbait or whatever other company, whatever. And notice that head on the front of that, okay? When that head's coming at you through the water, through the cover, it keeps basically, if your hand's like this, it goes like this to you in waves. And keeps going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, causing a lot of vibration, causing a lot of noise, you know, all kinds of stuff coming by. I love that kind of reaction bite. But during the years, when I see them and they're chasing, but they're not fully committing, they want something that has that action, but will stop and stay suspended. So I specifically want to show you a quick couple of baits that I've had over the years that are specifically for this type of condition, okay? This is what I've used in the past with these conditions that catch very, very large fish and numbers of fish, okay? This is a Lucky Craft Bevy 75, okay? These are the old schools, okay? These are the ones that came out back in like 2000 or whatever. This is in the gizzard shad pattern. This is the chartreuse shad pattern, okay? It's got a little chartreuse in it. And this is your original Tennessee shad that has that blue and translucent see-through and whatnot, okay? But they all have that same piece that's coming down, that bill, okay? And the Live X Revenge from Megabass in SG shad, okay? Look at that nose, okay? SG shad. Kahoku Reaction, okay? These are all year 2000 baits, okay? These are the ones that I would be throwing if I was there today. And I'm going to show you how I would set up on the boat position. And this is Mossback Golden Shad, okay? It is, these baits right here, there's a reason why I like these baits, because they're a form of a crankbait, yet a suspending jerkbait. And fish really key on these hard. So I'm going to pause this real quick. I'm going to break down the water and why, and show you why these bills are so successful that are just like a bladed jig, and why these baits would be working in the water. See those bills? It's basically the same thing as your wave, except it's facing down, your wave, okay? It's going back and forth like this, but then it can stop and it'll suspend. And when it stops and suspends, you're having basically a deep diving crankbait that suspends, but that's more like a blueback herring or a shad pattern that they're waiting and flushing out on ambush spots. And I'm going to show you how sometimes they line up and sometimes this is how it works. So hold on 1 second and I'll be back. Okay, so let's start with the breakdown. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to be a Monday morning quarterback or anything else like that. What I'm trying to explain is how these types of conditions in the past have affected what I've seen on the bodies of water that I've been on over the years, to where I'm almost positive that this technique would work. And I want to show you what I'm talking about. Now, let's take these out of the way, okay? And let's say we're doing an aerial view coverage. Now you're going into a big spawning cove, okay? You got a nice big spawning cove here. You just come in, okay? Here's your outskirts over here. You got 1,000 boats watching you, okay? Now you have docks coming out, okay? Here's a dock, here's a dock. It's a long dock. There's a dock, it's another long dock. It's a dock, it's a dock. But there's a dock with rocks that they built it on, but it comes out a little bit. Now they have another dock, another dock, another dock, okay? Here's your boat. You're coming in, okay? Now, you want to obviously work your way into it, but some of the patterns that I've seen over the years on how to dissect this right away, your high percentage areas right now, being that they're moving up, getting ready to spawn, is obviously this long dock, this rock pile, and this very, very last dock, okay? Now, I'm going to explain to you why, okay? These two, what are the differences? They're obviously the longest docks out in the bank that have the deepest coverage, okay, for cover for fish. And they're still staging out on the outskirts out here, if not underneath, but waiting to go up, okay? This rock pile probably comes out in like a triangle form and glides down underneath the docks. You always want to try to throw something at a rock pile that you see that's coming off the shore. Usually at the end of that, there's some kind of buoy, some kind of concrete bucket, something that they put to start a foundation. In your last dock, the reason why you fish your last dock is because this is the last piece of structure. Besides the bank, you can have, you know, brush piles and stuff like that, but it is the last structure of dock that walks out into the water with wide enough sides where a fish can get underneath and stay. Now, with that being said, I'm going to turn this piece of paper and show you what has worked over for me. You would think that your boat would come in and position right here and throw underneath this way, throw through the front of it, parallel going across, or you would come obviously back this way and start working the same patterns. What I've noticed over the years with these patterns is that I'll actually put my boat tight to the bank and throw it out and bring it in that same positioning, trying to skip it underneath or trying to get it underneath and working it back to you. There's two reasons why a fish is going to attack that. One, okay, it's abnormal to them to see bait coming into the bank like that, coming and crashing. So if the fish are already out here staging, or they are in here and you're casting to them but they don't want to come out, you want to pull them in by making them run to you. The reason why they would run to you is two things. Either the current's pushing them in with the wind and it's going in this way in the cove, okay? Or another fish is behind that bait fish and it's pushing its way in, and that fish is going to fight for that meal over the one it thinks is behind it, okay? By positioning your boat this way and working in towards you with this kind of weather and this kind of cover, okay, has worked for me over the years. I know it doesn't seem, you know, it's not textbook and it's not what somebody usually does, but it has worked. And I can explain to you that these baits get down into that range that you want down, stop and suspend at a deeper spot, okay? Give them enough time to look at it and smash it, okay? Now, the reason why I wanted to show you this is, like I said, I'm not a Monday morning quarterback, and I'm not trying to pretend I'm like a professional bass angler where I fish professional tournaments or anything like that, okay? I've done it before in the past, and I've fished plenty of tournaments, but I've seen this pattern play out plenty of times, okay? Now, once they come in and commit to that, your high percentage points, like I said, this dock, and this dock. And this last back cove, right where this rounding is, right here, okay? And then if you got the same thing on the other side, and obviously the rock pile that comes out, I'm gonna blow by everything else that's on this side and this side unless the dock is coming out all the way, okay? The two farthest docks I'm gonna hit and the rock pile I'm gonna hit, and obviously the very last dock. Yes, you would hit also the very first dock if you're wondering, okay? What about the first dock? Yes, you would hit that. And as you're going out, you wanna hit the points too, but facing them, casting them parallel across them, okay? And casting out parallel across them this way and putting your boat the same way and casting out this way and working it back, okay? These are actually very, very good techniques for this time of year, and have caught me plenty of fish in the past. I just wanted to show you that real quick for you guys that are, you know, novice anglers or anglers that are getting into this and wondering why sometimes this doesn't work, sometimes it does. But this technique has actually worked for me more times than I can possibly tell you, okay? I wish anybody who's out there, down there, a safe ride out tomorrow. Let's all come back and enjoy the classic together. Bass Live obviously keeps you in the loop of everything that's going on. It's a great, great format of fishing and learning how to break down water with each angler, okay? You can see what they're fishing, where they're fishing, how they're fishing it, you know? So you pick your rod and reel combo. I'm not gonna tell you which rods and reels to use because, you know, everybody's different in how they wanna work jerk baits, whether it be fluorocarbon or monofilament, but I like to use fluorocarbon because it's gonna stay down in that strike zone longer, okay? And I guarantee you give this a try, you might be very happy with the results. So that's it for me. Good luck. Enjoy the classic. I hope you guys watch it tomorrow, and whoever wins, congratulations to them. Okay, guys? Enjoy. Bye-bye.